guys gonna lead off with that song?
We're gonna start with it, yeah.
Okay, and it sounded from here like the vocals should have been louder.
Really? I can't tell because I'm right here. Yeah, I can't tell because I'm right here because I hear myself.
Would it be wiser for us to just basically send a feed to you and just have you, or could you possibly go through both mics?
I'm hearing the headphones. I mean, I can hear the vocals. You hear more effects on the vocals than you do here on the vocals.
Okay, well, whatever. Just from my vantage
So the balance
point.
from your perspective is you can hear it fine?
Yeah, I can hear everything with the balance.
But this mic's, you've got control of this mic, right?
Yeah.
Andre, just point towards this mic while you're singing. That way he can actually pick this up, and then if you want to,
I can open that mic up, or you could just use that mic, and if you want me to put some delay or I hear you have delay on that one. That's why.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I mean, then we can just take this out of the equation.
That's fine.
Okay,
Cool.
well, just
All right.
say, you know, that's not really what I call electronic music. But I'm feeling like
Put it back in.
Okay, will you tap on that mic for me so I can make sure I know which one it is?
1, 2, 1.
You guys want to do like 2 pieces back to back to start, or what would you like?
We're just gonna roll through, like, we'll do, everything's gonna segment to each other. So, there probably won't, after the interview, it's probably just, we're just gonna play.
Well, so should I do the interview first before you play anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, when I've done this in the past, what's worked out pretty well is to basically kind of, you know, you get an introduction, launch into something that makes some racket, and then take a pause at some point so people kind of have an idea what they're dealing with. I mean,
Well, that's why
are most comfortable with is fine with me, but you know that way people have some sort of idea of what they're up to.
Right.
Yeah, like if you had a piece that was like 5, 8, 10 minutes long or whatever, and then talk again, and then you want to play out the rest of the hour.
Well, I just thought it would be better if I introduced why you're playing that tuxedo. If I introduce you guys, they understand why you're doing that Tuxedo Moon song. So maybe if you could maybe start with something else, or not. You're all keyed up to start with.
We
that.
could do, I mean, I don't
Or
really
some
have a,
improvising to begin with, or and it's up to you.
This is pretty flexible. I mean, we are primarily improvisers.
Yeah.
The idea of even doing this just kind of brewed up during rehearsal because this is something I'm going to be doing on the 22nd. So that's the only reason to do
Well,
this.
could we
got
maybe
6
do
minutes.
no tears after the interview?
Sure.
Sure.
And so I'll just leave it up to you guys how long you want to improvise for, and then we'll break, and then you could do no tears.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So you're going to introduce who it is, and then briefly for a second, though, right?
Yeah.
Say hello.
I'm just going to give a little setup for live shows and what we're going to have today.
So then that means we're gonna interview after our first piece.
Yeah.
Okay. Just be this is your interview, Mike. Here, allow us.
Okay, we've got less than 5 minutes.
Okay.
I'll switch gears here.
You might want to give me a little bit through that mic. And,
1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
you got too much effects on it, or?
1. That's kind of about right.
Okay. All right.
1, 2, 1, 2. We need a little drama. 1, 2, 1.
Do you want to check out of me too, or
Sure.
test, test, test? 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, hello, hello. Test, test, test. Let me know when you're done with me. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Test.
I'm good.
Okay, cool. Grande. No, without even thinking about it, we're set up for a virtual audience here.
That's right. So you're not gonna have them talk at all, gauge it first? Because I'm just trying to make sure I know whether I have effects on or not.
No, I'm gonna talk, and then they're gonna play, then we're all gonna talk.
Sounds great. Okay, cameras are on. You guys want this, keep this heater on, or do you want that off?
Adds a little bit of warmth and a cheery glow coming out.
I'm with you. All right, this is great.
Are we being bad? Should we be silent right now?
No, it's all right,
I've
but
got 2 minutes here.
I just want to be able to hear in the minute before where to start up.
Okay. So, so I've got my level, and that was actually kind of low. What you were just seeing, what you were just hearing there was someplace in between -20 and -18. -10, sorry about that.
Okay, we have 1 minute.
Okey doke.
Turn this on.
Turn it down, it's mommy. This is the mommy that's right
Hello, San Francisco. You're listening to KXSF LP, San Francisco 102.5 FM, streaming at KXSF.FM. Welcome everybody to live sessions, officially starting in 12 seconds. And we got a special show for you today. You know, we've had on our live sessions all kinds of music. We've had the Forget-Me-Nots with, how would we describe them, Scott?
Queer animated
Queer
psycho folk.
animated psycho folk. We've had Minds Without a Face,
Bombastic rock band.
rock band. We've had the Meredith Edgar Trio, kind of a folky country. We've had the Alaya Project, which was a sort of Indian jazz experimental stuff. And today we're going to have live electronic music from Rudis and Andre Custodio. And they're going to improvise a bit and have some pieces played for you. So enjoy everybody on this chilly December 11th, Sunday afternoon. Welcome to Live Sessions. right. We just heard some live improvised electronics with percussive element from Alex Rudis and Andre Custodio. We're going to find out who these guys are right after a break. Sounded good.
Thanks.
Is provided by Go-Go Grocery, a worker-owned cooperative that has been serving San Francisco vegetarian food and providing a model for sustainable living since 1975. Rainbow is located at 1745 Folsom Street. Visit them online at rainbow.coop. KXSF would like to thank Rainbow Grocery for its continued support.
All right, you are listening to KXSF Live on this 11th day of December, and we've just heard a performance from Alex Rudis and Andre Custodio, local musicians who've been at it in various guises through the years. And let's find out who these knob twiddlers are. First of all, let's start with Andre, who I've known for quite a number of years, and I've always known him as a drummer and in various scenes, jazz, free jazz, all kinds of collaborative things. He's branched off into electronics. You've heard pieces I've played from his project Divided State in the past, and and I've always admired his musical open mind, looking at different kinds of music and embracing all kinds of music. Andre, thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me, Gage. It's been a pleasure.
So you're a drummer, basically, but you're an electronicist. You've done teaching. You're a sound environmentalist, I hear.
I've been known as a sound environmentalist, yes. Started my education in electronics at the Grand Harvard on a Hill City College in San Francisco, and studied under Brian Fergus for a time, and got into Serge synthesizers and all the knobs and the various knobs and wires associated, and really fell in love with analog synthesis. And now it's sort of the love of this has kind of grown into my more economical version, which is digital analog synthesis, which you're hearing today.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, lifelong love of electronics and electronic music.
And he has very many varied projects going on right now that he was telling me about. So he's all over the place. And your music and your output can be found where?
So there's a center place on the internet, andrecustodio.bandcamp.com, and it includes pretty much everything, the breadth of the music that I do, from jazz to electronic experimentalism to whatever. It's all there. In fact, LX has a presence there too. We have a collaborative presence there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Your collaborative presence being, well, the Audible Method recordings and stuff.
Yeah, that was a series I ran in 2018 at Bird and Beckett. That was its version 2.0. The version 1.0 actually started in 1997, where I actually met LX through that series. When I ran it at a small cafe in the Richmond district many moons ago.
Nice. And Alex has quite a storied past here in San Francisco. Maybe more the average listener might be familiar with his group that he was a part of, the Units, back in the late 70s into the early 80s. And they were an early synth punk group, maybe the first San Francisco band to do away with guitars and have only synthesizers and stuff. Is that not true?
Yes, we did away with those darn pesky guitars. We actually had we had plywood cutouts of Fender Stratocasters that we would beat on the hood of a car with when we got on stage.
Yeah. Okay, and there was a degree of performance art involved in multimedia with that group too.
Pretty much, yeah. As a matter of fact, I'd have to say that probably partially because of the choice of instruments, synthesizers that I've worked with, pretty much almost everything I've done has had some sort of multimedia element incorporated into it, just to keep it interesting for an audience.
And this Audible Method thing, this is a CD-based DJ system augmented with theremin-like digital processors and synthesizers, and use field recordings and samples and stuff.
Yeah, that's actually not what I'm doing today. I've got this old analog synthesizer I'm beating up. But yeah, for a few years there, I actually DJ'd And I decided, well, why don't I try to see what happens if I start using these tools to do more speculative music? And so it kind of developed into a thing where I used something where if you just looked at me, you'd think I'd be like, throwing down like, funk classics or something, but I was actually using these things to do looping and processing and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So it was a cool way to work because the media wasn't quite as risky as going out with an instrument. I mean, in the worst case, I could set things up so that even if I passed out, the set would go on. But the idea was to interact with this pre-collected groups of sound and try to make something new out of them.
Uh-huh. And he doesn't like to play up his past too much, but to give listeners sort of a foothold on who we're dealing with, he's played with Tuxedo Moon, I know our listeners know, and some work with Winston Tom.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm going to be, Winston and I are going to be playing, is it okay if I promote the show?
Absolutely.
December 22nd at the SF Eagle. We'll be performing as part of Anarchist Disco. And when Winston and I work, we tend to work in a lot less of an extreme areas. What you're hearing here, it's more traditional songs.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of a combination of rearrangements of older material and some newer stuff.
Interesting.
At the San Francisco Eagle on the 22nd.
Okay, write that down, folks. Check it out.
Julie?
And yeah, so I was gonna maybe play, maybe I shouldn't. This Units track that you spoke of, Live at the Deaf Club,
Yeah.
with your synthesizer playing on it.
Yeah, those. There's not a whole bunch of examples of the stuff that I recorded with the Units, specifically because things were moving so fast back then. I actually kind of joined and quit the band a couple of times, and so I don't appear on the original EPs. But if you find a copy of the history of the Units, you can find a couple of songs I'm on, and then also there's this recently released CD of a set that we did at the Deaf Club that I think you're going to play a song from.
Mm-hmm. And which was the track you said? That was a good one? War Moving Body?
Yeah, I kind of like the way that one turned out.
And that was a sort of a more well-known song for the Units.
Yeah, there was another song that was called High Pressure Days. It was a little bit more kind of like the hit, but War Moving Body is always kind of, it's got kind of cool lyrical message and is fairly aggressive.
All right, well, why don't we hear a little bit of this, and then we'll come back and I'll play some more live stuff.
I should mention one thing about this. The drummer you're going to hear on this is Richard Driscoll, who left the Units the same time I did, so we could go and form another band. And this particular cut kind of shows him at sort of the top of his form. Part of the reason I mention this is because unfortunately Richard passed away a few months ago. But he left behind quite a body of work, and this is one example of it.
Okay, let's give him a little bit of his due here, and let's hear this. War Moving Bodies, live at the Deaf Club, 1979.
Ooh, now.
It's good?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Although this is not live. What the hell? Oh, it is live. It's live in 1979.
Yes, it was live then. It lives on.
So how far ago is that now? 43 years ago?
Yeah, God, time flies when you're having fun. What gets me is that the 80s are still very much with us, Back in the 80s, you couldn't catch me dead listening to stuff 40 years old.
Much more judgmental time back then.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, it was so much like, oh, what's good, or you're copying somebody, or it's not, for me, I didn't play music back then, so it was much more like I was a fan, and you'd sit there and kind of like, oh, are they tight enough, or are they good enough, or it's like this weird judgment about it all.
Yeah, there was this weird kind of jock athletic kind of
like competitive nature to it, or
we all hated
which
everybody
bands were
like
better.
I must have carried on that tradition because I didn't come around till another decade later.
You're every bit as ornery.
I guess I carry. Yeah, I didn't mean to carry on the tradition, but I ended up doing it. I have some enemies still, fortunately.
I got a few of those too.
I'm not alone.
you to jump back and talk more?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
One of the things, I don't know if I mentioned this, but the Deaf Club, it was called the Deaf. The Deaf would go.
Kick back on there on his two channels.
They realized that they could use balloons, and deaf people could hear the music or feel the music through balloons. And so their little snacking, you could get like paper cups, because they would trust us with cans full of beer.
Yeah.
You could also, for 50 cents, get a balloon, like a beach ball balloon, and blow it up and then hold it with your hand so you could feel the music when you're deaf. And so my memory of this is like looking up at the audience, and half the audience was these yellow rubber spheres, because people were had their balloons in front of their faces, right? So
Wow.
playing for an audience with yellow rubber spheres.
I could definitely picture that happening with this.
Yeah, good drumming there too.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
All right, War Moving Bodies, performed by the Units, 1979 Deaf Club featuring Alex Rudis. And you know, one thing I also forgot to mention, you have some renown as for your involvement with the Atari Lynx music stuff.
Yeah, after slugging it out in the local scene for a few years and, you know, having various things almost work out, I finally, matter of fact, through doing a radio show I used to do on KPFA over in Berkeley, I wound up meeting a couple of people that basically hired me to work for a company that was developing this handheld game machine for that Atari eventually bought, that was released as the Lynx. And what that led to is, I guess, my real musical career, which is where I spent a few years composing music and doing sound effects, and then doing implementation of those into the computer code that was part of video games. And Atari was one of the companies I worked for through that, and because I kind of got known as being somebody that worked on emerging hardware, I got several other sets of gigs. Like I worked for Sega for a while when they were releasing hardware. So yeah, I did rambunctious punk rock music, and then I kind of went on doing corporate entertainment for the masses.
There's no shame in that. Well,
They
not
paid the
much.
rent.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Okay, now Alex, where do you want people to find you online?
Gee, that's a really good question, because I've kind of reduced my online presence. If you work fast, you might be able to find me on Twitter, and at some point in the near future, you might find me pop up on Mastodon. And if anybody really wants to find me, I'm kind of loosely affiliated with the Australian band Severed Heads, and so if you can't find me, ask Tom Ellert, he can tell you where I'm at.
Okay, all right. You guys want to play another piece
Sure.
or not?
Yeah, now we're going to pout.
Okay, what will we have next?
Oh, that's right. It's time
you're
for us to, in light of my past and a mistake I made in showing something to Andre the other night, we decided to perform a song, and Andre is going to sing for you.
All right.
And this is
okay.
going to be an old Tuxedo Moon song, but it's not going to be done the way that Tuxedo Moon did it. And so I apologize in advance, just in case anybody hears this and gets upset.
Never apologize.
It's all in good fun.
It's going to be great. Okay, let's hear it. you went from No Tears into an improv piece, or was part of No Tears?
Well, I was an improv piece.
Okay.
Let your imagination fly.
You're listening to Andre Custodio and Alex Rudis playing live on KXSF Live, and it's been great. You got some more stuff? Or?
Sure, we can play some more.
You want to chat a little bit more?
Sure, I don't know. What's new? Did you have a good Thanksgiving dinner?
Well, actually, I spent Thanksgiving working on my show. All alone.
I'm sorry,
eating
that didn't
frozen
mean to open up a
pizza.
sore subject there.
No, no, it's great. No, I enjoyed that. So, how about yours?
Well, it's funny you should ask that. I actually went and had Thanksgiving dinner with the Toms. Both Moochie and Winston are really excellent cooks. And so I've gotten to the point to where it kind of started off randomly, but now I kind of, even though I hate the holidays, what I really like is I like the home cooking I get.
Yeah.
And so I had a wonderful traditional turkey feast with all the trimmings. And then on top of that, Moochie even made turkey soup with the turkey carcass. And so when I go home for dinner tonight, I'll actually even be having the last of the leftovers.
Wow.
So there, I didn't mean to go on with a big epic retelling of my dinner, but I've learned that this is really the value in music. It's like if you work with the right musical people, you usually get fed really good food as a result.
Well, we thrive on those little details here to get to know the artist. And then do you guys do some music afterwards, or?
Oh, no, we were too stuffed with food, actually. At that point, we had to...
You gotta lie down.
Yeah, right, that was about the only bad part of the evening, was that we couldn't get a cab. It was out in the Sunset District, and so we wound up in the middle of the night having to hoof it up to 19th and wait for the owl to take us back to the Richmond.
Oh dear.
But that's life.
Oh well.
Life in the 2022 post whatever world we're in.
Yeah, and we're not post-pandemic yet.
I keep, exactly. I keep making that mistake, and yeah. Oh well.
Well, do you guys want to do another piece, or we could listen to one of your previous recordings that are available on Bandcamp? I have Audible Method.
Yeah, I don't know. It
We
looks
would like live, but
Andre's sitting there setting something up. You got something set up ready to go there, Andre?
If you want to do an excerpt of something and then we can close it out, maybe?
do it an
Yeah.
excerpt of one.
Yeah.
Well, I have Audible Method 2018-013 here. I have Spurious Emissions from Divided State.
I think I'd like to do something. Yeah, let's play something back with where we collaborate. That's probably the
Okay.
Audible Method.
Yeah, let's do
we'll do
that.
a little clip of that one.
Okay, this will be called Time/Bottom 100.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, that sounds good.
I think
Let's
Alex
check
remembers
this out,
what
everybody.
that's about.
Alex Rudis and Andre Custodio with, whoops, on top of the microphone. Time. No, it's called, Time Bottom 100.
Oh, the mic's off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you remember what the time bottom 100, time top 100 was? I think you were talking about.
Steven, you said KXS Live.
I don't know how that was.
Yeah.
You said something about
The 5
time
times
top
you
100
said
artists or
KXS
something like that,
Live.
and somehow you were involved with that, or
KXSF Live.
maybe.
It's weird. It must be like
Anyway,
a tongue
it's-
Hey, it
Like
works.
Luke did it
Whatever.
twice.
I've
Luke
forgotten.
did it
Weird
twice.
title.
What
Yeah.
did they say?
KXS Live, and you just did it
When I remember, I'll tell you.
KXS. Oh, without the F?
without the app. It's weird. I'm like, no. Either something you guys are. Somebody's calling it live sessions or KXS Live. Damn it.
Well, it's easier for me to remember live sessions, but I understand. We don't
Fear something.
You gotta have me pull all this onto a real thing and play it through the mixer. It'd be much louder. It's supposed to be a live music.
instead of Bird and Beckett, right?
Yeah.
I love that place, Bird and Beckett.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
My wife and I own a hair salon right across the street from it now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a great neighborhood.
Yeah, it's
fallen in love
magical,
with it.
just right here in the center of San Francisco.
Yeah, it's
like
kind of
a
hidden
town.
away. Great taqueria, good cheese shop. There's a hardware store.
Decent
there's
bar
Bird and
on the block right there. You know.
Yeah, it's just great. It's a great little neighborhood. Love it. And then that guy's doing live jazz like all the time.
Yeah, I got to play there a few times with my quartet. It was fun
Yeah.
to play out there.
And I mean, it seems like he's recording everything, so he must be kind of like archiving all these, hundreds of shows.
Yeah, they're all up on Bird and Beckett YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, a lot of them are anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's cool.
Okay, so we have just like 15 minutes left.
Okay.
So I can let you guys, play through and just fade you out, or I can signal you to end and we can say farewells, whatever.
Okay. Want to play
Do
by
a
ear?
2-minute, and then we can say goodbye.
Okie doke.
I'll
you go.
signal you when there's like 2 minutes left,
Okie doke.
if I can remember. You ready for me to fade this down and for you to do?
Yeah, I mean, are you ready, Alex? Hold on 1 second. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, we're ready.
Okay, we've been listening to Alex Rudis and Andre Custodio from a previous recording from 2018. Now they're live.
We got a little dead air there for a while. That's why it's good.
All right, beautiful. You've been listening to Andre Custodio and Alex Rudis performing live on KXSF Live. And thank you guys, that was fantastic.
Thank you.
Did you just make that up as you went along?
Well, I mean, should I give away a secret? Well, I mean, I'll say this much. I think the systems that we've created to make a sound, we've made. But the performance and the compositions brought forth today are improvised.
Right.
So we make the sounds more or less, and then we put them out as we feel to put them out.
Yeah, and then just to get a little deeper in that process, we usually will get together a couple times before we do a live show to just kind of go over the various presets that we built that in some cases can function as solo pieces on their own. And we kind of work out loosely what we're going to work on, how we're going to use these things together. And then also we've got the benefit of having basically done we've played like about 2-3 times a year for like the last couple of decades, right?
I think what stands out for me more than anything else is that we sort of built a sort of like a decades-long playing relationship. So which really started I mean, we can go back to 1997 now. So all the years having collaborated on and off with recordings, with live performances, with us and with others, it really is like a ongoing, evolving relationship in playing music together, and that's what I really cherish, and I'm happy with LX, is that we've maintained a good friendship and a good playing relationship, and that's priceless. You can't put money on it.
Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we got to sign off now. Thanks so much, you guys, for coming in. Can anybody see you perform live anywhere? Yes or no?
Well, LX you can.
Yeah, so the Eagle.
22nd.
The Eagle, right. Okay, fantastic. Thanks, you guys. Thanks, everybody listening to KXSF Live with Alex Rudis and Andre Custodio. We'll be back in a few weeks with Lay Lie, and this time next week we'll have a former show you can listen to in case you missed. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, thank you again for the opportunity.
Wow, I cut it right at the edge.
We're edge players, man. That's how we do it.
Well, thanks, that was great.
Thank you. Let's do it.
Oh, we recorded the whole thing.
Now we'll embark on what we actually do.